TTHAN evaluates and displays 5 main values and their related normative bands. After 2 clench tests, with and without cotton rolls lasting 5 seconds each, TTHAN evaluates the percentage overlapping coefficient index, otherwise known as the POC, which calculates the prevalence between each muscle couple, the barycenter, otherwise known as BAR, that is related to the anterior or posterior behaviour, the torsion, noted as TORS, for the evaluation of the torsional behaviour of the jaw on the horizontal plane, and the impact, noted as IMP, for the evaluation of the muscular work. The values can be seen as graphical representations or numerical values. In terms of representation, the temporalis anterior muscles are represented in blue and the masseters in pink. The horizontal rows in blue and pink represent the normative bands, referring to the temporalis anterior and masseters respectively. If the blue and pink symbols are in the centre of the green areas, it means that everything is well balanced. A displacement of the symbols outside of the normative bands shows where the patient's muscles work more. In this particular case, we can see that the left temporalis muscle is working more than the right one, as the blue symbol is shifted towards the left side of the mouth. This means there is a prevalence of contact in the premolar area. Regarding the molar area, the pink symbol is shifted to the right side of the mouth, so the right masseter is working more than the left. This means that there is a contact prevalence in the right molar area. Both the blue and pink symbols are displaced forward compared to the horizontal normative bands, meaning that the barycenter is anterior and the patient is overloading the anterior part of the mouth. Within both symbols, there is an arrow pointing to the left side of the mouth. This means that the patient has a left torsion of the jaw. Next to the image of the mouth, there is a dial which displays the global value of neuromuscular balance, which is an average of all of the calculated values. In this case, we can see a value of 81%. If the global value is above 83%, it will display green. If between 75 and 82%, it will display yellow. And if below 75%, it will display red. A green value indicates a well-balanced patient. Now, let's focus on the numbers. The POC index monitors the difference in muscle activity between the left and right sides to identify whether there is a dominance. There are POC values relating to the temporalis and the masseters. In this specific case, the temporalis POC is 67.57%, outside of the normative range. The letter L indicates that the left temporalis muscle is working more. The POC of the masseters is 87.38%, which is within the normative range. The letter R indicates that the right masseter is working more than the left. The occlusal barycenter is calculated by comparing the activities of both temporalis versus both masseters. In this way, we can understand the prevalence on the sagittal plane. In this case, the barycenter is 82.96%, which is outside of the normative range. The letter A is for anterior, which indicates that the patient is working more in the anterior part of the mouth in the premolar area. In the case of the posterior barycenter, you will find the letter P, indicating the masseters are working more. The torsion is calculated by evaluating the activities of the crossed muscle pairs and refers to the microscopic torsional attitude of the jaw on the horizontal plane. In this case, we have a value of 81.85%, which is outside of the normal range. Also in this case, the letter L stands for left, and it means that the left masseter, right temporalis pair prevails on the opposite couple. To understand which pair works the most, we follow the guide, the temporalis leads. Therefore, in right torsion, the right temporalis, left masseter pair prevails, while in left torsion, the left temporalis, right masseter pair prevails. The final parameter is the impact, which represents the muscular work produced. This index is proportional to the bite force. It is calculated by taking into account all of the muscles, and it allows us to identify patients who are a clencher, or with a weak bite, or a nociceptive reflex. By clicking on the second button on the occlusion sidebar, you can analyse the muscles through a pie chart. This pie chart allows us to assess the muscle activity distributed in the 4 quadrants of the face. In this specific case, there is a prevalence on the left temporalis compared to the right. It is also possible to check the percentages in the table below. By clicking on the third button on the occlusion sidebar, you can analyse the Asim Index, which quantifies the symmetry between the left and right muscles. In this case, we have a value of -13.54% and the letter L. This means that the left side prevails over the right side. You can also see the activity represented in blue and pink bars, which displays the intensity of contraction of each muscle. The full bar is the muscle which is working the most, whilst the others are represented relative to this. This screen allows us to see if there is a hyperactive or a hypoactive muscle. In this case, the left temporalis is represented with a completely full bar, so for this patient, it is the strongest muscle.